There we go.
You are looking live.
We're live, as we often are on Tuesdays. It
That's right. It's been a couple weeks though.
has been a couple of weeks. Often, yeah, often, but not always. We had a lot to catch up on, a lot going, a lot in the works. So it's all good though.
Yes. And a disclaimer for all of you: Greg will not be joining today. He is on a cruise ship somewhere, previously in the Mediterranean near Turkey. Not sure. I don't know if I'm supposed to disclose. I'm just kidding. Um, some location on a cruise ship, enjoying some much needed R&R. Yeah, I think he's still. Yeah, I think he's still on the
Yeah,
ship.
I would say he. Yeah, it's the first time where he's actually not able to be reached. Usually, if he's out somewhere, we have a better idea. But good news is he's actually able to relax. So we'll let Greg enjoy that.
Yeah, absolutely. He's notorious for taking calls on the go. Can be anywhere.
Yes,
Plane, a car,
Which- in the
a
bus,
bike.
train, yeah, on his bike.
Nothing stops him usually. But yeah, I think this was an actual vacation. So glad he's able to get some time off. But I think today will be kind of brief, right? We have a lot that we're doing. We're really like we're in the
Weeds.
middle of it. Everything's sort of happening at once here. Um, so anyway, yeah, I mean, I guess from my standpoint, very focused, of course, on the product side of things. So can definitely talk more about Jen, about advances we've made on the product itself. We're hitting a lot of milestones. I mean, coming out of the AILA conference, we, are hitting certain user metrics, usage metrics, not just people who have an account, but people who are actually logging in, using their account on a regular basis. Yeah.
Same with
So
new
many,
new
so
si- I
many
would say
things.
same with new signups too, and the amount of people that have signed up kind of since then. With that, we've gotten a lot of really good feedback too on areas that we can help make user experience better as well as kind of make the product better. So no, it's been really really good, and we figured even with this live stream that. We're like, hey, it's the fourth. It might be, people might be out of the office. Last week, it was just kind of getting back into the swing of things, but we figured having 2 weeks without this, just with how busy we've been, just didn't make sense. So figured we'd come in and give everyone at least a brief update of everything that's going on.
Absolutely. So I can share my screen.
Yeah.
You can tell me if that comes through okay.
Yeah, let's make it. We can make it bigger. There we go.
Do this as well.
Got it.
I'm gonna remove the logo so we can see full screen. Cool.
There you go.
All right. So we have in beta, this is our beta environment, by the way. So this is not what active users see. This is what active users will see hopefully a week from today when we release the next features into production. We had a big announcement at AILA Annual this year, which was our drafting capability, which hopefully for any active users of our products, you do see a draft tab on the left nav menu or nav bar. And you should be able to now create a variety of essentially petition letters or cover letters or whatever your firm calls them. They go on top of the petition when you send it out. That's essentially what we're talking about. The initial options are O1A, EB1, and I601A. Those drafting capabilities are readily available today. NIW is this close to being done. Maybe the next time we have a live stream, we'll be talking about how NIW is now available in the product. We are also about to release some additional employment-based process types, and we'll be sharing. If you go into this Explore Resources tab, you'll be able to see sort of like a list of different things. I'm not sure if my screen share in here doesn't immediately take me to that page, but There's a table, and we're going to add basically the sort of roadmap of different drafting capabilities that we plan to add over the coming weeks and months. But we're still very committed, at least at this early stage, to employment, family-based areas. And we also have, not to be forgotten, we are doing some sort of asylum focus drafting as well. Some other humanitarian focus areas that we're working with some existing users to hash out and develop. We don't have, unlike in the employment and family side, internally at our company, we have a lot of resources on the employment and family immigration side of the house, but not on the humanitarian areas specifically. So we are partnering with some existing users to sort of try to make some initial drafting capabilities there. In addition to the added NIW, I would expect to see also some template customization. What I mean is right now when you go into draft a petition letter, you are asked if you want to add your own template language, your own template text, but you're not able to save that template for future purposes or for future use, right? So maybe for every O1 or EB1 category, maybe you have several different flavors of the petition letter that you use for different specific case types or specialty areas. So what we're going to allow users to do is create individual templates and store that data on their account, like their own sort of firm or their own specific templates for those petition letters, and just recall them in a future session. So you're creating a new project, you want to make a new O1 petition letter. Maybe you have a really good example that you want to pull in. Next week, you'll be able to do that, no problem. So that's really exciting. And again, drafting is going to more and more become the focus point of our product, just because there's so much efficiency opportunity in this specific feature. And I will also, we announced it at the conference, but we are partnering with Magic Docs, which is a sort of subset of Formally that has an AI sort of document recognition tool. And so we're planning to integrate that into our drafting tool very soon. The goal here is like the uphill battle with the drafting at this moment is the time it takes to manually upload all these files, right? It takes, we approximate it takes 35 to 45 minutes to create a petition letter in drafts. It could be, with the help of some AI efficiency tools, around 15 to 20 minutes perhaps. So we're really interested to see how that can help sort of streamline the process. So essentially how it will work is people can upload or bulk upload all the files related to the supporting documents related to this case or this project. And it will use AI to name the file, to automatically categorize it, and to feed it back into our sort of complex drafting engine to begin the drafting process. So we're really excited about that feature, and it's all in progress at this very moment. So more to announce likely by the next time we talk. The other really cool feature in beta, and I don't know, there weren't any comments or anything were there on
nothing yet? No.
Okay, cool. So the other feature on our staging environment that will be released into production in the next week is translation. And what I mean by translation, I mean word for word translation. We're still working out some of the smaller kinks with this, but essentially what happens is you're able to select a file, which actually I don't have any files in the staging environment, but essentially if I were to upload a file, it would just ask me what language I want to translate my document into, and it will essentially translate or attempt to translate a document word for word. So you have a 40-page document that you want translated, you upload that document, it will utilize AI to then translate that document that it's downloadable in a PDF or Word format. So we're really excited about that, and we'll have some other exciting news, I think, around translation that should make for some exciting conversations later this summer. But yeah, so translation I know has been one sort of side feature that we've been really asked a lot about. Basically since we released the product, we have translation sort of set up in a document Q&A prompt. We have translation sort of set up in a private GPT prompt. And you can also I will say the summarization tool, if you were to upload a document to be summarized, you could translate that. If it were not in English, the summary would be in English. So you could actually, in theory, translate something to English as a summary in the sort of summarization tool. But we've never had the sort of word for word translation capability until now. So existing users, you won't see this translation tab today when you go to log into Gen, but hopefully you will see it in our next sort of release of features. So we're hopeful that sometime during the next week or so, it should be pushed to production. So we're really excited about that functionality as well. Maybe the only other thing that I'd like to mention, I mean, we've made a bunch of improvements to the UI and to some of the functionality related to chat. But the only other area I think I might be interested to talk a little bit more about is quick prompts, just as a functionality.
Just to show it off. Yeah.
Yeah. So I might share, not staging, but actually share our live environment.
Yeah, I don't think we've really explained the quick prompts too much, or kind of how those can work. So yeah, no, that'd be great to kind of show off how we can do these.
Yeah, definitely. So basically, when you're in a chat, so say you're in, here's our sort of what we call them modes, sort of chat mode. Say you're in a document Q&A, which means you're just asking questions to your own files. In our prompt library, you'll notice that there are certain prompts that have this sort of thunderbolt icon or image. Those are quick prompts. And what that means is that when you select a quick prompt and a file, you don't have to do all these other options. I guess it's sort of, to sum it up in a really simple kind of way, when you normally run a chat in our tool, specifically of your own documents, you have to, you go through this process. You select your own document, you select your own prompt, and then you ask a question, right? So like, what is the vacation policy? Like, I use this example over or whatever. So basically, you ask questions to your own file and it generates a response. Quick prompts takes all of this extra step, all these extra steps out. Basically, it's at the point of upload, you just select what you want to do. So if I were to go into my prompt library, I'm going to, but actually, Josh, you asked me to do this, so I did it. So I'm going to do it now.
Yeah, no, that'll be great.
So actually it is a quick prompt. And so essentially what happens is now when I go into document Q&A, let me go back into my chat. Let me start a new document Q&A chat. Let's say I upload a file. I'm not going to add to personal library, but let's just see what we got here. I'm just going to pick a random document that is general in nature.
There you go.
See if I can find something recent that's should have had an example RFE that I could just have really quick. Okay. Well, I need an example PDF.
I would say for an RFE.
Yeah, let's see.
I say I have an example one I can probably send you. Hold on.
Let's see. But it's really not going to work if I don't have an RFE. But anyway, what happens when at the point of upload, if I just upload a random file, I'll give you the concept though. It's like if I have.
I just sent you an RFE one in the I have a sample one that I use. So
nice. Josh sent it to the rescue.
There you go.
All
Between the two of us, we'll have the answers.
Right. So I'll let this upload real time. Might take a minute on the live stream here. Let's see what happens. Document is being OCR'd and sort of synced with our database.
Yeah, sometimes the OCR can take a second too, but there you go.
Right. So here we go. So like you can just do this. Like there is a drop down as soon as you upload a file and it's synced to the system. These are quick prompts. So you don't have to go into new chat. You don't have to ask a question, select a prompt, any of those things. You just simply start quick prompt. And it should, basically start working on the analysis, right? So no more going to create a new chat, uploading the file separately, asking the question. It's just all built into the quick prompt because that's what it's supposed to do. It's just supposed to run a task. Now, not all the reason that we still do have the sort of standard approach of like just creating a new chat and you can go in here and, select the documents or select the specific prompt you want to use is because sometimes you do have a unique specific question, right? Then the sort of knowledge management scenario I used earlier with the vacation policy idea with an employee handbook is that maybe you just want to ask a question to a lot of files or even a specific file, but you don't sort of have a pre-built instruction for it, right? You're just like analyzing some set of documents. And you're just like, I just have a question about this specific part of it. You're like looking at previous example data, etc. So there are different use cases for the different features, but quick prompts just allows you to do something related to like quick document analysis, like quick summarization, quick translation, other just like one-offs that you already know the action you want to run on the file. And we're already building out a series of additional prompts we plan to release in the product this summer to hopefully like really create this robust immigration specific prompts. I'll add that. That will, I think, make that sort of quick prompts feature more relevant for people, for lack of a better word. So yeah, we're really excited. That's available now. It's available in Gen. If you go in, there is the quick prompts functionality. And also just a note for people who want to edit, that's what we call system prompts, which are instructions that are readily available in the system. Like this is a system prompt, this is a default prompt that's available there. Any user can go in, see that prompt, and then duplicate it. Like say you want to maybe you have your own RFE analysis prompt that you want to sort of make your own. You can just go directly into the library, duplicate this RFE analysis prompt, and now you have like your own sort of copy that you can go in and say, okay, I now want to actually give you my own instructions, or I want to modify this in some way, or maybe it's some simple drafting tool or drafting prompt, and you want it to draft based on your own template or something. I mean, all of that's totally possible right now.
And we are working on we have the AI Academy as well in the works, which is kind of a place to show some of the examples of, if you're not really familiar with the prompt engineering side of things, or, you don't really know how to kind of start with these workflows, right? We're working on building out kind of a little bit of a structured guide for it where, we're more than happy to take a look at prompts of specific use cases or things like that. We understand that, not all immigration attorneys are going to be prompt engineers, but what we want to do is make sure that we can help provide that use case for you too. So let us know at the same time if there's ever concerns, or if you can't get a prompt to work, and we're more than happy to sit down and kind of take the time to develop that prompt for your team or with your team as well, so everyone kind of has a good idea of how to do that.
Yeah, that was a good shout out to the AI Academy. And it'll be available here just like some of these other resources. So I wanted to highlight that we do have use cases and example questions, prompts, all these resources. Right now, it's just a link, like a simple like view use cases and examples. And then over here, there's like a little information button, and you can say view Gen use cases. When we update the UI for the entire platform later this year, we'll make it a much more interactive experience. But just know that you can just click this link and you'll be able to find a whole page full of various resources on the product. I think we've talked about a lot. The final thing, and this is really for our existing users, because existing users would know whether a specific feature has been working properly or not. We spent a lot of time improving this chat history feature. So essentially what I mean is when you ask follow-up questions to a question, it seems like such a simple thing, like to just like, okay, I just asked a previous question, let me recall that context as part of my new question. In reality, it's actually a little tricky to sort of fine tune and get it to do exactly what you want. But we have, I would say, made leaps and bounds in that functionality to going from where it's probably around half the time it's actually recalling your history correctly in terms of like answering the question properly, to, I would say today, I would feel confident in saying 80% to 90% of the time, it's going to recall in this specific chat, not like your entire database, but just this specific chat session that you've had, question answer, it's going to be able to recall that history effectively and use that in the output. Like, I don't know, an example would be you ask about some substantive immigration topic, and then you ask it to draft an email to a client explaining that topic, right? That's like a very specific use case. And I would say, barring like some minor possibility of like maybe it hallucinates or it does something, it confuses maybe some very niche aspect of immigration that's nuanced, it would be able to sort of recall all of your prior conversations and quickly draft, some simple memo or email. Again, that's just like one specific use case, but it just prevents you from having to like re-ask the same questions over and over again, right? You can just be like, can you do that again? But like, do this, everyone's used to doing that kind of thing in ChatGPT. So we just wanted to recreate that functionality as best as possible in our tool. So
Absolutely.
that's probably all I'll say about updates today. I know we've gone over the 20 minutes. But yeah, we're really excited. We've got a lot of new, it's just always what's next, always what's new. I mean, our product is essentially a little over, we're not even 7 years old.
Yeah, almost.
We're half a year old, basically, as a product. So, I mean, if we think about all the things that we've built in basically 6 months, and essentially what I would say is that in reality, the speed of development for our team has only increased. Like, we're only building more, not less. In fact, I would say in terms of resources allocated towards new development, they've only like doubled since we started working on this sort of like base sort of gen product. And over the next 8 to 10 months, there's going to be even more. And we can stop this.
Oh, yeah.
Share.
Yeah, there you go.
Over the next 8 to 10 months, there's going to be, I wouldn't say, how would I say it? What we have in Gen right now is very limited compared to what it's going to be in 8 months from now. In fact, I would say the opportunities for law firms to create efficiencies using our product will have at least doubled or quadrupled. But I would say, so, I mean, I think the sort of response to that is like, so why use the product now, or why use the technology now? Why not wait until it's like the bright, sort of fancy, shiny, ready to go thing? I think a lot of it is ready to go now, but
I would say,
but really, I think the key is that what we're building right now is a lot of it is based on our current users and their feedback. So, for the people who are using Gen at this very moment, no one has greater impact and insight into how we build from here than those folks. So I would just say, that would be my one sort of stipulation on all this is like, sure, there is still some room for improvement, as always with any technology. But I think for us, it's really been at this point diving into the user feedback and starting there. So I'm not going to divulge a lot or really much more than that in terms of what does that mean in terms of new development. But we'll have a game plan. I think later in the summer, we'll probably release some initial announcements around sort of what we're calling 2.0. Let's leave it at that. 2.0.
Yep.
We're in 1.0. We're going to have 2.0, hopefully well before this time next year. We're thinking early 2025. So anyway, I'll stop talking because I tend to always talk too much and say too many things that I shouldn't.
No, I was say that's great. And yeah, with that, I think that's a good place to end it. Of just, there's more to come. We're still in our, it's still kind of in its infancy. And with that being said, there's plenty more on the horizon to look forward to. So we should be back here hopefully next week. We try and keep these consistent, but if not, we'll be around. If you guys if there's ever questions or things like that, also feel free to reach out. There's contact stuff on the Visalaw.ai website. But thank you guys so much for joining us on the web live stream webinar. Never know which one. Live stream today.
A video over the internet with our faces.
To people. Yeah, exactly. But we'll see you guys next week, and hope everyone has a great 4th. We'll see you later.
Holiday, everybody.
Yep.
Thank you so much for your time.
Yep.
Have a great
Bye, guys.
one.